I haven't been on vacation in about like 5 or 6 years. And so after a year of being stuck in this apartment by myself, I thought, why not? Fuck it. Let's just do our thing. We going out, and we going to Mexico. But with that comes a problem in that I also haven't packed for a flight in like 4 years. Run the intro.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the.
Welcome back to another episode of the Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santee. And this week, I mean, technically, it feels weird saying this week because, like, I'm not recording it a week or blah, 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 blah. I'm not recording this on a week by week basis right now, mainly because I'm going to Mexico. But yeah, like I said, haven't been on vacation in like 5, 6-ish years. Because of that, I really haven't packed for an international stay. Let's call it that. I haven't packed for international travel in a while. The most I might have done was a backpack for like a 3-day trip back to my parents' place to go see them, or maybe like, you know, a weekender bag. But all in all, I've not really thought about packing or had to think about packing in the last handful of years. And it's kind of a problem because, number one, it says, hey, Mike's not really taking time to unwind. Hate that. Not really taking time to like unplug, recharge my batteries, whatever it is. The closest that I had was like a staycation. And at that point in life, I was going through a crazy like existential crisis, also like setting boundaries and moving on and all that stuff. I think that was during episode 4. If you guys want to go back and see that, I might leave it up here in like the thing, you know, the thing. But yeah, I haven't been like just chilling on a beach somewhere, which that's really my form of vacation. Listen, your form of vacation could be like, oh, I want to go to the mountains and blah, blah, blah. That's all cool and dandy. But listen, for me, living in a moderately, I would say we get all 4 seasons. Living in a place like North Carolina where you still get winter. Not as long as New York, which is why I left there. You get the summers and all that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I just like being at a beach. I like somewhere warm, somewhere that's got a breeze, somewhere where life is just calm and slow. Like it on an island. Other people, you could be like, okay, disclaimer. I'm not opposed to other locations. Like, I'm cool going on like a European blah, 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 blah. That's fine. And I love learning about like different cultures and different kind of, different histories and architectures and all that stuff. That's cool. But this isn't that type of vacation. This is the type of vacation where I get to finally do nothing for the first time in a while. But that's not what this episode is about. This episode is about the fact that, like, I don't think I know how to pack anymore. I don't know if I have like a system. And because of that, I started researching systems, and I guess I found like maybe the 3 most popular ways and added in a 4th or 5th, who knows. But I did find some ways to pack, and I might as well share them with you guys. You've got the number 1, and I'm not saying this in list of importance. I'm just saying this in the list of how I found it. But number 1, you've got rolling clothes. Now, this one comes from they all come from a space-saving kind of background, but I do think that rolling clothes comes from, let's call it militaristic. The idea of being out in the woods or in the wilderness for multiple times. So camping, military, things like that, where you need to make space like the most efficient. You need to make things fit in space or use your space efficiently. We'll get there. English and stuff. But yeah, rolling clothes seems to be this idea where like after you've like completely flattened your clothes and everything like that, and you've gotten them folded to a certain point, you then begin rolling them to compress them into like you know what rolled clothes looks like. If you've ever seen like a t-shirt cannon, and those things just really good t-shirt cannon noise, by the way, Mike, good job. But if you've ever seen like a t-shirt cannon or something like that, then yeah, you've seen rolled clothes. I mean, some of you guys might even do it now for your drawers or dressers and stuff like that. Like, you might be rolling clothes and that's your thing. And by all means, go ahead, roll your clothes, maximize space. The cons to rolling your clothes is that, at least to my knowledge, there's gonna be some wrinkles. Now, if you do it right, I bet you there's no wrinkles. I've never done it right, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, I can imagine that there'd be wrinkles in these clothes. But, you know, do your thing, do you. If that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. This also might help you just fit everything into a carry-on and kind of move on. But number 2 are, I would say they're my favorite, but then again, what do I know? Like, I go traveling anywhere. So my favorite would be packing cubes. Now, these aren't too expensive. I guess it depends on where you get them from. You could probably get them from Amazon, Marshalls, Walmart, all these like major retail stores and online and stuff like that. They give you packing cubes. If you don't know what packing cubes are, I don't know how else to explain this. They are basically little compartments of vinyl material or a tougher woven fabric that allows you to kind of create boundaries within your packing. So there are different size cubes for different size garments. So obviously your undergarments, underwear, socks, things like that would fit in a smaller cube, whereas like jeans, pants, jackets even, they would go into a different cube. But what it allows you to do is kind of like almost play Tetris a little bit with your clothes or whatever you're packing, and it gives you that like defined space, because once you put the stuff in the packing cube, it's never going to get bigger than the packing cube itself. So I kind of like it. I've been using it a lot when I go on to like these overnight trips, or if I'm away from home for a couple days. I just don't know what that would look like for like a week long vacation. So we'll see. But yeah, packing cubes. The next idea, or the next option that you have, is more along the lines of, I've done this once, or this, I will say I did this the last time that I went on an international stay. And this is vacuum bags, or space-saving bags. And I say or space-saving because I didn't actually use a vacuum bag, but I want you to think of it like that, where all these advertisements for space-saving bags and things like that over the years, you're probably accustomed to seeing a couple giant-looking Ziploc bags that have either a vacuum valve or a one-way valve at the end of them that allow you to compress all the air out of your clothes, giving you maximum amount of space. And so I know I've done that before personally. The ones that I use, I don't really know if it's a brand or not, but the space-saving bags that I used were built in a way that they had a one-way valve at the bottom. So you could put in all your clothes, and honestly, at this point, if you're using a vacuum bag, screw whatever kind of guidelines these bags give you. Just get what you can get in there. These things, you would close them up top, like basically Ziploc them up top, and then you would roll, push, smush, however you could, the air out of this one-way valve, and then air wouldn't get back in, and boom, you got that. And I legitimately, so I'm a guy, and I will adhere to the stereotypes of guys not packing a lot when it comes to clothing on vacations and things like that. But I know for me personally, I probably had, if I had to spitball it, somewhere for a week-long vacation, I probably had about like 6 to 8 different outfits that I could like fit into one bag, which really then allowed me to just fit the second space-saving bag with a lot of bullshit. Think about it. Space savers, you know. Do your research. My favorite, I just said that about number 3. That's a lie. This isn't my favorite. This is what I think is the funniest method, and it's the method that I call the fuck it method. And I know a lot of you are guilty of this. Jeez. I know a lot of you are guilty. Oh my gosh. If I could speak today, that'd be awesome. I know a lot of you are guilty of this, but the fuck it method is really reserved for the procrastinators, the people that don't actually like organize how they pack. And honestly, sometimes it's the people that like check their bags. I'm not saying you do all 3 of these at once. I'm saying one component of these things may result in you saying just fuck it, where you are just either A, saying, hey, I don't care what I bring on because I'm going to check a bag anyway, so screw it, I've got more space, cool to go. Or B/B1, in that you procrastinated. Like, you've got almost no time to pack before you have to go to the airport. So you just start throwing shit into your suitcase. Like, whatever it is, you roughly count out how many outfits you'll need, or you just take a bunch of your clothes, throw it in there, and kind of move on from that. So, I mean, if that's your style, I mean, more power to you. Like, hey, your life is chaos. Your packing is chaos. If you're doing the, like, just throw shit in there, fuck it method. And I applaud you. I applaud you for living life on the edge and risking uncertainty to hopefully have enough things put together in that suitcase of yours that you have enough outfits while you're gone. But who knows? Maybe if you're doing this method, you could also move into method 5, which is honestly goals. The no pack method. It's that idea that fuck packing. We're just going to take a little like backpack that has the essentials, like the IDs, depending on where you're going. But like IDs, documents, any necessities, any toiletries, things like that. You shove them in a backpack, and when you get there, you'll just buy whatever you need when you're there. Hopefully you're going somewhere warm so you don't have to buy too many things. I could see how it would get pricey and kind of expensive in a colder climate or a more unpredictable climate. That one is like, you got money bags. Money bags, money bags, money bags. If you were just saying, I'm going to go wherever and I'll just buy clothes when I get there, it's fine. I never yet. Never yet? Who knows? Not yet? We're getting there. But yeah, that method, that'd be so nice to have. But, you know, we out here balling on a budget. So really, I'll ask you guys this in the great debate, but just think like, hey, which method is, I guess, the better? Which method is the better method for you? But with that, we're going to take a break. We'll do the P.O.P thing, all that stuff. We'll come back and do the wrap up. And maybe I'll be that much closer to packing for Mexico.
P.O.P.
And we're back. From what? I don't really remember. But, oh, yeah. That's it. It's not even the same week that we're recording this episode. We're just doing this for the wrap up, which is the great debate. Last week. Yeah, why not? Last episode, we asked you guys if you were going all out, going ham when quarantine was fully over and everything was open back up 100%. And 79% of you said yes, 21% of you said no. And honestly, I could see, per usual, surprise, surprise, I can see where the no's are at. Y'all are being cautious. Maybe it's one of those things where like y'all weren't going all out anyways prior to, so why change it up? The yeses, I also hear you. I understand. It's been a while. It's been a motherfucker of a year or two at this point, and year and a half, full year. It's been a full year since we all like shut everything down and didn't realize like this was going to be it. So I understand. I sympathize with you. Plus, you know, YOLO. Go live your life to the fullest kind of thing. Be considerate of people, but also be considerate of yourself. Do your thing. Do what makes you happy as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Think about it. But also, really interested to see what's happening with Texas. I mean, it's been under a week since they decided to go full open. And even then, that was just the announcement that they went like fully open, no mask, no anything. So it's still going to take some time to see what's going on with all that good stuff. But yeah, gosh, this week, let's do a little bit of multiple choice. We talked about packing in this episode and all that stuff. So let's figure out what's the best way to pack. Are you going to go A, the rolling method, B, the packing cube method, C, the vacuum bag method, or D, combine all the other ones into a fuck it method. Like, I don't really have a method to packing. Whatever ends up in there ends up in there. I know for me personally, I'm going to lean more towards the packing cubes, mainly because I don't bring that much stuff to begin with. Plus, I'm weird in the sense that I like all my stuff compartmentalized. Like, it's kind of why I like choosing to, why I like bringing a camera bag with me, because even the compartments that I'm not using for camera equipment, it's still compartmentalized, has its own little walls and space where I could just put things where they belong, or customize the layout of the bag. Honestly, if you don't have a lot of things to carry and you're just going to take something like a weekender thing, I'd still suggest a camera bag, because you can still put everything in its little compartment. But yeah, which out of the four do you guys prefer? Yeah, that could be answered a lot of different ways, but who knows? But that brings us over to the Friday follows. This week, really just a couple, I've been watching these pages kind of move and groove, do their thing, grow, develop, build their brands and their companies. And so it's really kind of interesting. And yeah, it makes me happy to see these guys doing so well. The first shout out is going to be at trulygifted.us, Truly Gifted Clothing. If you guys don't know about it, you're going to find out about it relatively shortly, because especially in Charlotte, they're going to be taking over very, very soon. And then, expand from there, do your thing. But yeah, I got to get a hand on some of those things. Like, I'm just saying. Speak it into existence, put it out in the universe. I will have some Truly Gifted apparel sooner or later. The next page that we're going to follow, or tell you guys to follow, I already follow them, is Latinos in Charlotte. So I'm not going to blow up this spot yet, mainly because I like the anonymity of having somebody behind the curtain to run the page and all that stuff. Just know that Latinos in Charlotte is going to continue to be a very essential hub in the Hispanic community, especially in the Hispanic creative community and business community in Charlotte. So make sure you go check them out at Latinos in Charlotte. Per usual, I'll leave all the descriptions down here, all that good stuff. But that's the end of the episode. I'm more than likely, by the time you see this, I'm probably somewhere on a beach in Mexico enjoying my life. Not that I don't already enjoy my life now. Wow, that's going to be taken out of context. But unplugging for a little bit, doing the thing. That being said, though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down here. Don't forget to follow at Problems on Problems Podcast on Instagram, at Problems_pod on Twitter, and follow your boy at Mike Santi 18 on all social media. But like I always say, guys, if it's not a good time, hope it's a good story. And I will see you hopefully a lot more tan, but next time.